These are the plaintiffs, Kathleen and Andrew Davis. Kathleen says she was walking her dog, and the vicious beast the defendant owns ran past his electronic fence, picked her Yorkie up in his mouth, and tried to kill her. When she presented the defendant with the vet bill, he told her she was overreacting. He won't pay the bill, and she's suing in what she thinks is an open and shut case for the $218 they're definitely owed. This is the defendant, Elliot Boatsolis. He says there was no reason the dog needed to go to the vet over a little 30-second incident between the two dogs. Their dog wasn't injured in any way. He's been living in the neighborhood for 24 years. The plaintiffs are trying to shake him down, and he's here to defend himself to the judge because he owes nothing. He's accused of losing control of his dog.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff says she was walking her dog when the defendant's dog grabbed her Yorkie and tried killing it. The defendant says the vet trip was unnecessary because the Yorkie wasn't hurt. It's the case of Yorkshire pudding.
Thank you, Douglas. Kathleen Davis and Andrew Davis?
Correct.
Yes.
You are suing Elliot Boatsolis, Donna Boatsolis, and Alex Boatsolis. You are appearing on behalf of everybody, correct?
Yes.
For $218 in vet bills because, according to you, their dog got out and attacked your dog. What happened?
Around 3:30, 4 o'clock, I was walking the dog with the little girl I nanny. She's 6. As we approached their house,
How far does he live from you?
we live in a horseshoe. He's on the cross, and
A few hundred yards.
200,
So
it's pretty close.
I was coming from.
Did you know each other?
My daughter went to high school with his son, but we don't really. We've lived in the same neighborhood the same time, but we don't
Okay.
really know each other.
All right.
One of his dogs ran out, grabbed my dog, bit my dog, and then I kind of shielded the 6-year-old, picked my dog up, and as I'm picking my dog up, his dog is still biting my dog. Now my dog is shaking.
Did you actually see his dog bite your dog?
Yes.
So the teeth were inside your dog?
At one point, his mouth was on my dog. I picked my dog up.
Did he close his mouth and bite your dog?
And as I'm picking my dog up, their dog is still jumping on
so
me.
how many times is this dog biting your dog?
4, 5, 6 times.
And yet the vet report says there's 0 puncture wounds.
There was 0. She had saliva all over her. She was shaking uncontrollably.
How could his dog bite your dog 3 or 4 times and there's 0 puncture wounds?
His dog's still a baby, the vet said. I'm not sure how there's no puncture wounds. She's lucky there's no puncture wounds.
Okay. So what happens?
I grabbed my 6-year-old that I nanny and my dog and left and went home and called him.
Okay.
And
now
then-
she calls you and she tells you what?
Oh, she's freaking out. She said Micah, a little 8-pound Yorkie, got attacked by, a dog around the corner. And, the dog needed to go see a vet just to check, number one, to see if there were any puncture wounds. Just because you get bit doesn't mean there have to be puncture wounds. So they went and there was, I don't understand, I'm not a vet, obviously, some sort of air pocket that they saw when they took an x-ray, something on the dog.
And they followed it to make sure that it passed.
Right, they wanted to check to make sure that wasn't going to be a problem because that's something that can happen when a dog bites a dog or something. I don't know. So we just had the dog checked out. Thankfully, she was fine the next day, still a little skittish for a couple days. But, the dog officer basically said, well, the leash law in Massachusetts is you need to be in control of your dog at all times.
Absolutely. No, there's no question. Your
Right.
dog got out, right?
Right, my dog got out.
Right.
Not
So-
negating that.
The reason why you won't pay, because it's not like it's a $2,000 bill, it's a $218 bill, and the reason why you won't pay it is what?
So is it possible that this Yorkie could have been bitten 3 or 4 times, but there were no puncture wounds?
No, not at all.
There would necessarily be puncture wounds.
There would have to be puncture wounds unless the dog had no teeth.
What do you say?
Huh?
It's okay. I'm sorry for bothering you. Going inside the courtroom.
The reason that I won't pay it is I talked to Mr. Davis. He got very belligerent right away on the phone, and I said to him that my dog didn't bite your dog. I think your wife overreacted, and sorry, I'm not saying that she didn't get scared, but my dog didn't do that. I know my dog didn't do that.
How do you know? You weren't there.
Actually, I was there. I had just stepped into my home.
You didn't see it from beginning to end.
Not beginning to end, but
Right.
but my neighbor did.
Okay. And
Okay.
do you have an affidavit from your neighbor?
I do have a signed affidavit.
Okay, it's a signed letter, not an affidavit.
Well,
It's
a
not
letter.
sworn.
Right.
It says, I was a witness to the incident. At no time did I see Daisy attack, bite, or shake Ms. Davis's dog. She called me over during the incident. I was in my yard. She seemed upset when I approached. I mean, she, you know,
Nice.
have you ever known your wife to be completely insane? Not just a little insane, but completely. I mean, she's not making it up.
Plead
Is your dog big?
on that.
My dog's bigger than their dog.
No, but how big is your dog?
My dog is probably about 58 pounds.
Yeah, that's kind of big.
Yeah.
So,
and she was only 9 months at the time.
okay. So, how did she get out?
Well, I have a wireless boundary, and she was wearing the collar. When we first put the boundary in, because we just got them the month prior to that, she went too close to the boundary, and she got very frightened. So I lowered the intensity on her collar. So it was just...
Too low?
Too low.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right,
So when,
which means you lost
obviously-
control of your dog.
I actually have 2 dogs as well, and the other dog didn't leave the boundary at all. You know, and just to assure that these dogs are not like vicious, they're not going. I mean, because in the dog officer's report, she said that the dog was baring its teeth and growling constantly. And I know that's not my Daisy, you know.
Okay,
So,
you can't say that.
No.
And I'm going to tell you why you can't say that.
Okay.
All right? And I meet a lot of crazy dog owners.
Right.
I'm not saying that you're one of them
No.
necessarily. I'm just here to tell you that they are animals. They are not humans.
Oh, I know.
My dog is the sweetest, dumbest dog on the planet Earth. But if my dog thinks that you are coming to my home to hurt me, boy, she will hurl her body against the door over and over. Okay? Because unfortunately, I have a glass door. And
Right.
she can see that you're coming. So she thinks that the UPS man is there every day to do me harm and that the box is the bomb. Because then she attacks the box. It's become a joke between me and the UPS. The UPS man gets safely on the other side of the pedestrian gate. I wave, I open the door, the dog attacks the box.
Yes.
It's fun for all. They're animals, so you
Right.
don't know if, you don't know. You know, the dog gets past it, the dog is remembering the jolt, who knows what
Right.
happened, where the,
Okay.
all right. Look, this is super close because throughout this trial, I'm thinking to myself, she overreacted, but you really are the only witness to what happens from the beginning. And I think your brain cells are connected.
Oh, they are.
And unless it sounds that way, unless you saw, and I know exactly what you saw what my dog does sometimes, where it goes like that, but it doesn't actually bite. It's not causing puncture. It's not doing anything. But you don't know that because you got a dog with fur
And I
who's
have
petrified,
and I have a
and
six-year-old
you're
I'm
not
trying
going
to
to not
protect.
take the dog to the vet. And it's a very minimal bill, but it's a bill that exists because your dog got out.
Well,
So I'm going to rule in their favor and order you to pay the $218. But because I like you, and I understand what you were thinking, I'm going to let you tell me what you're trying to interrupt me with. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, when I was on the phone with Mr. Davis, I called.
You offered half.
I offered him half. Yes, that's what I was trying to get out.
Yeah,
Out
but
of
see, I
being
understand
able to-
how they feel. Well, why should I take half? Well, I didn't do anything wrong.
And we
Right.
offered
And I-
150.
And he
Oh,
said,
for the
and he
love of
said-
God, I'm here over $20. You people are killing me. Go
said no.
home.
Oh, my gosh.
That's my verdict.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the plaintiffs do indeed prevail. Mr. Botsolis, the defendant's just come out. You know, this case does make you look kind of like a mean guy in some respects because you didn't offer to pay the whole thing.
The whole thing. I offered
Yeah.
half because I am an animal lover.
obviously you
and,
are.
And the vet said there was nothing.
We understand, but
sustained.
still, it was a scary incident for them to go through. You would have done the same thing, I'll bet, if it happened to your dog.
Actually, probably not.
I bet you would have.
So.
You say no now, but anyway, we'll find out. No, hope we don't find out.
No, we won't
Forget
have to-
that.
we won't have to
Okay,
find out.
thank you very
All right,
much.
thank you.
The plaintiffs are on their way out of the courtroom, Mr. and Mrs. Davis. All right, sorry you had to go through this. Every dog lover can appreciate and, get scared, something like this. You satisfied?
Very happy. And if we had come down and apologized, maybe we wouldn't have been here.
You're absolutely right. Maybe so. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Thank you.
Okie dokes. Harvey?
Okay, Doug, look, I mean, there are situations where somebody would take a dog to a vet when there's no evidence of any kind of harm to the animal, and you would say that was unnecessary, so the other person doesn't have to pay. But if there is any reasonable basis to take the dog to the vet, even just for evaluation, the defendant then has to foot the bill.